Welcome to our channel. I'm Shari.
And I'm Rae.
Hi, welcome to our channel. I'm Shari.
And I'm Rae.
And if you're new here on this channel, Rae and I like to give you guys practical tips and advice on how to deal with issues like confidence or anxiety and success habits.
Yeah, and if you missed those videos, we're going to link those below, so go check them out. But today's video, we are going to be focusing on 3 reasons why you are not reaching your goals. Because
it's all about perspective.
Okay, so reason number 1 is boundaries.
What are boundaries? Boundaries is basically when you know when to say no to something or someone because you know that it doesn't serve you, that it's not supporting you on your highest path and your highest goals, or because it just, you don't like it.
Don't want to do it.
You just don't want to do it. Like, plain and simple. And I know that sometimes it's easier said than done. Like, we all have some extent, to some extent, all of us have been programmed to say yes to people, to say
because we feel bad.
Because we feel bad. Because like if we don't go to our friend's wedding, then we're gonna look like a crappy friend.
Yeah.
Or if we don't go to support our friend's fundraiser, then we're gonna look bad. And I know those are like legitimately good things that we should go to.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, you have to really evaluate within yourself and be like, do I actually want to? Is this benefiting me? Is this serving me on my highest goals?
Yeah. There are certain people that you just don't want to be around, like negative people, for example. And sometimes you just not evolve, but you hang out with them because you feel bad. Or because other people are like, well, they're such a nice person or something.
Or you're afraid to be alone. I've had that happen so many times where I've caught myself hanging out with people only because I'm just like, well, if I don't hang out with them, then who am I going to hang out with? And I don't want to be a loner. I don't want to be a loser. So I end up doing that. But when I go out with these people, I'm not even actually having a good time. And I leave feeling worse.
You need to have boundaries. Like, that is how you prioritize yourself. And this is something both of us and probably many of you have not been raised or taught, which is obviously normal, like nowadays. Like, nowadays. It's been normal.
Nowadays,
it's been normal.
Like back in the day, it wasn't like that.
You know what I mean? But yeah, seriously, it's really what we want deep down. Like, what do you really want? And you need to put that boundary because, like, imagine you don't want to go to a party, but you go because you feel bad and then you have a shitty time. Sometimes you have a good time, but it's like you could have just not gone.
For sure, and I think a lot of the times what ends up making us go is because we fear what would happen if we didn't go. So for taking the party example, like at parties a lot, I think people feel pressure to drink or do drugs or to be a certain way, be more outgoing looking or whatever it is. And it's like, what's the fear of if we don't do those things? The fear that we're gonna look bad, look lame, or people aren't gonna like us or whatever. And that's really where we have to tackle this issue. But yeah, first and foremost, you have to evaluate within yourself, like, and you'll feel it physiologically, like in your chest or in your stomach, like, do I want to go? And you'll feel like, if it's a no, you'll feel like a tightening.
Yeah, it's like, don't say like, oh, that's such a hard decision because I feel bad. No, you know what you want. So set that boundary, set it.
Yeah, for sure. Easier said than done. So I'll just like throw an example real quick because I think this year for me has been such a huge learning lesson of like how to set boundaries because like Rae said, like we're not taught this, at least like in my house and I'm sure in many other people's houses.
Because their parents don't usually know to teach
parents.
They really don't.
Maybe fucking parents don't even know, or you have your guidance, parental guiders. Guardian, yes.
Yeah.
I lost track. Whoever your parental or non-related, non-blood, what am I saying? Whoever raised you as a child growing up.
It doesn't have to just be boundaries with people, just so you know. You need to say no to even things that like me and Shari tend to say yes to. It's like we take on so much. We are busy all the freaking time. But this year we have both been really working on saying no and just doing what we can, going with the flow and not stressing ourselves out because we want to get so much work done and we're like, go, go, go. But really it just makes us feel worse and we're so stressed. Like I got sick recently and so you need to have boundaries also not just with people but the work like your lifestyle in a way, like just so that you can be okay, literally not stressed out because you said yes to everything.
For sure. And also I think this is maybe going on a slight tangent, but it's all related. But in terms of the subject of like feeling like we have to do everything right now and get it all done, it's like a generational thing. Why? Because we're in the information age and we have our cell phones, we have our computers, we have TV, we have like millions of shit going on all around us. And so it's really not our fault that we end up taking on so much stuff or feel like we need to, or feel like we're not getting enough done, because visually in our brain, like we're seeing all this stuff and we just feel this incessant need to do that. We gotta do it. What we have to do now is to implement coping mechanisms so that we can chill out for a minute and not have to feel like we're behind, because we're not. We're getting a lot of shit done.
There's no timeline. Like there literally isn't. Like just because someone thinks that you need to be done at this time, doing like finishing school or getting like your business done, whatever it is, like you're only putting that pressure on yourself. If you really think about it, you really are. It is your decision on what you want to do.
I watched a Gary Vee video recently, and which I'll link below, which he was like on a phone call with some girl who had like won this opportunity to talk to him, and she was like so many people in her generation, 22 years old, she just graduated from college, and she told Gary this problem that everybody in our generation is having, which is like, I feel like I'm hustling so much and I've got like my side business going on, but I just feel like I'm so behind. Like I just feel like compared to everybody else, I'm so behind. And he was like, who is everybody else? And she literally could not think of anybody. And it's just this, it just shows how we have created so much in our head of like
like we're not enough.
Some arbitrary, like we're not enough, some arbitrary standard that we have to meet. Like who the fuck created it? Nobody did. It came out of thin air, and it's a result of all this technology and all this like high speed stuff that we have going on nowadays. Returning to boundaries, holy shit. But that just shows it's all related.
All related.
So like for me, I think boundaries was one of the huge things that I learned this year, because I had so many situations come up, and I think like for women, they'll for sure be able to relate, but especially me as a gay woman or a woman into women, having men hit on me. It's like double awkward for me, because one, I feel awkward because it's like, well, I'm gay and I'm totally not interested in you, and like never would be in this lifetime nor in like the next lifetime probably. And then the second is like just having somebody show sexual interest in me, and then just me feeling really awkward about it, whether it was like a guy or a girl. And then just feeling that obligation to feel like, oh, they asked for my number, like I don't want to be rude, so I'm gonna give them my number. And then later that just snowballs, because then they text me and I'm just like, fuck, well like I gave them my number, so I should reply to them. Like I want to be rude.
So many girls can relate to that.
Yeah.
You know, give them 6 digits. They probably won't even notice.
They probably won't. It takes practice being able to say, oh, you know, like I'm not really comfortable giving out my number, or just being, or I mean, you can lie. I mean, the best way is to just be honest and be like, oh, I'm actually not looking to date anybody. I'm not interested. No, thank you.
Y'all just gotta have boundaries, man. I mean, we are both still learning, so this isn't easy, but it's definitely going to hold you back, especially reaching specific things in your life if you don't add those boundaries now.
Oh, and one more thing too about, so not just like, you know, random ass people hitting on you, but even friends, like people that you are currently friends with, or maybe even just acquainted with. Like there's nothing wrong at all. Like don't ever feel guilty for feeling like you need to release certain people from your life so that you can be your best self. Because just because you've been friends with somebody for years, or just because at one point you had a really good connection with them, it doesn't mean that you always have to try and maintain it that way. Because you're not actually happy.
It's all about your happiness and what you want. At the end of the day, every single choice you make, it really should be if it's making you happy with good intention.
I love talking about boundaries just because.
I know, me too.
I think it's how we're just like.
We got a lot of good content on
I
this.
know, shoot. Boundaries, bitch. And we're taught to not be selfish. We're taught that being selfish is a bad thing, that it means you're not appreciating whatever it is, and sometimes that is what it means. But in truth, we really have to relearn how to be selfish. In the best sense. I mean, when we were babies, like little infants, we were selfish as fuck. Like, wah, wah, feed me, and like, we got fed, change my diaper. Oops, I shit. Who's gonna change it for me, right? And like, we were super selfish. And then as we got older, we just got programmed to like hold ourselves back, on our own, not ask for help, and like that just slows down the process so much. covering mental health or self-care and into
Yeah.
Okay. One.
Hey.
No.
Shh. No.
Hi. Wait,
What?
that was weird. I wasn't ready. It's like I wasn't ready.
Ready.
I know. It's like ranging from confidence, anxiety, and success habits.
Yeah, I mean it.
Rae and I like to give you guys practical tips and advice on issues covering mental health. No, one more time. One more time.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Ooh, ooh.